Okay, perfect, guys. Okay, I've started the recording so we can post this onto YouTube. I'm glad everyone's joining. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Thank you for joining this AMA. And we're going to go straight into the tokenomics, as we always do. We start off with the taxes. I know we always go over these things, but it's very important, especially if there's new listeners, that join our AMA. We'd like to obviously just go over it so everybody is au fait and everybody is up to date with the tokenomics and the taxes, of the project, and also to explain a few things why we do certain things. After that, we will talk about, the different investments that we're looking at with the whale fund, the first main utility. And then after that, we're going to go into a bit of a Q&A session. We'll talk about the marketing, what the strategies for the project going forward, and what we plan to do, and also in preparation for this live event that's coming up, in Zug in Switzerland, which is going to be pretty much a game changer for us. All right. So without further ado, we're going to talk about the taxes. So as we know, Bankers Dream is this project that we're all part of, that we've all bought into on the Binance Smart Chain. Part of how it works is that we charge a 15% tax, buy and sell, and part of that taxes is 8% of those taxes get returned back to the holders in the form of reflections, rewards in BUSD PEG. In order to see these reflections, when you buy the token, you need to save the contract address for Binance PEG BUSD in your wallet, whether it's a MetaMask wallet, whether it is a Trust wallet. You need to save it in there so that you can actually see the reflections in your actual wallet. Usually when you put the contract address, you must make sure that the contract or the chain is the smart chain or the Binance Smart Chain, BSC. And when you paste it in, you will save it and it will actually auto-populate the information about the contract. So the token, the symbol, the contract address, everything, as well as the decimal. So some of them will have 9 or 18. Our token is 18. So save it, and once it's saved, the Binance reflections, once they're paid into your wallet, once they've been distributed, will go into your wallet, and you'll actually see your reflections. For the actual sell, the way it works is usually when the contract, once the buys happen, the contract will then collect 150 billion banks in our token. Once it does that, it will then start the payday, as we call it, and it will distribute to everybody's wallet. And it usually works for every transaction that happens thereafter. It will distribute to between 4 and 8 holders for every different transaction, whether it's buy or sell. Okay, and that will show up in your BUSD section. 4% of it goes to a marketing fund and / the community fund, which is the main utility, which is called Bankers Whale. Bankers Whale is, an active passive income investment vehicle. So what that does is it actually will take a percentage of that 4%. Like I said, we'll split some of it to marketing, some of it to the Bankers Whale. Over time, we will naturally then not have to spend so much money on marketing because the marketing will already, we'll be well on our way with the token, etc., and more. We can then take more of the percentage of the marketing fund, and we can pump that into the Bankers Whale and increase that over time. So we invest in blue chips, in medium risk, and also 10% of that goes into ICOs. If we see a promising project coming up that can do a 10x, 50, or 100x, we will then, take an opportunity to try and invest in that. We always will dollar cost average into the projects, whether it's in or dollar costing average out of a project. Very important, because we want to make sure that as investors are protected, and we do it a smart way. At the moment, on the blue chips, we are invested in BTC, ETH, Algorand, and Matic. Those are the 4 we've sort of earmarked or shortlisted. And once we did shortlist, we put it to the community as a vote. The community could then say, right, we would like to invest in these or not. After that vote, we then made a decision to then dollar cost average our investment into those 4. If you do have any suggestions for any other investments going forward, any, blue chips, any medium risk or any ICOs that you'd like, you're welcome to DM me. You're welcome to DM or Booker, AJ, any one of us. We can take a look at this and we can actually see what goes on in these different funds or these different, blue chips or medium risk, like I said, or ICOs, and we will do a vetting process on it. Based on that vetting process, we will then say to you, right, we've had a look at it, it looks good, or it looks high risk, or it's a problem. But don't think that if you send a suggestion to us and we don't decide to invest in that, that we're actually ignoring it. We will communicate with you anyway, and we'll tell you what we found is this is a problem or that's a problem. Maybe there's, especially on the ICOs, the devs aren't doxed, or there's no KYC there, and maybe it's stealth launch, which is also very high risk stealth launches, because you're basically going on the promise that they're actually going to do what they're supposed to be doing, and that is very high risk. So what we like to do is, like I said, vetting. Vetting is very important, and I'll even discuss when it comes to the marketing as well, how we vet these projects. Okay. So if you have any suggestions, like I said, don't be shy. We will take a look at them. We will check them out, and we will give you feedback. Sometimes it might take a bit of time, but if there's a priority on a specific investment where you say, well, this looks good and it's going to go live, fairly soon, especially on the ICOs, we will maybe do just an express check on it and then come back to you and then give you some honest feedback as to whether or not it's a good option. Okay. For the liquidity pool, 1% of the taxes gets allocated to the liquidity pool to ensure that we've got enough to trade, with banks at the end of the day. And banks is available on PancakeSwap at the moment, or through Poocoin. We do have a swapper on the site at the moment, which only works on BNB, nothing else. You've got to send only BNB to it. If you send BUSD or anything else to it, you will lose your money. Okay, only BNB. We are reworking the entire website, the entire display of the whale fund going forward by the 7th of March. I know our head dev Simplify is on that. He's doing an amazing job getting that ready. It's a lot of work in the background, so there will be a revamp of that as well as the display going forward. 2% of the taxes go to buyback and burn. We have done we've done a major burn in the beginning from the launch, which took it from 1 quadrillion tokens down to 500 trillion. And then we did 2 subsequent burns after that. One was at 9.9 trillion, and I think a 1.3 or 1.4 trillion after that. So we should be sitting in about 489 trillion in terms of the supply at the moment. Burns happen when we see it's necessary. It's a manual process. We do them, in conjunction with what the community wants, but also what's viable for the contract and the token going forward in the project. We won't do a burn specifically just, because, we see volume is low. We will do it because we've hit certain thresholds, and it's better for us to rely on marketing to ensure that, that we take this project or this project to a business and not rely on burns solely, because a lot of the times we have people saying, well, let's do a burn. That is not a short-term solution or a long-term solution to getting a contract like this or a business like this any further down the line. So it's not really a good solution. We only do it, at certain points in time, etc., going forward. Let me just also have a look quickly if we have any questions. Do you have any questions as far as the taxes are concerned? If you guys want to chat to me, you can chat to me. Either come on and chat to me through the mic, audio, or you can, guys, if you don't want to, you can type it into the chat, and I'll answer any questions. Okay, don't see any questions there. So everybody can still hear me, just to make sure everyone's still alive. Anybody can still hear me, no issues, can give me a thumbs up. Good stuff. Thank you so much. Awesome, man. Thank you, Chris. Okay, guys. Okay, if there's no questions, I'm going to continue on to the next part of the presentation. Okay, so when it comes down to investment, there we go, Coco Joe, there we go. Yes, today's a good audio day. Let's not jinx it. Today's a good audio day. Okay. Just give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. I'm just going to page through something. Okay, there we go. Done. Back. All right. Awesome. Okay. So when it comes down to the whale fund, we are constantly looking for, these blue chips all the time. And what the aim of the whale fund is really to ensure that we've got a main utility of passive income coming in, to the actual project. We mainly are only interested in, good projects, as well as, for the whale fund, as well as options that can give us passive income going forward. Because the whole point of this project or this business is to ensure that we have passive income going forward, and various passive income streams, not just one passive income stream. So we've got the BUSD, which is, going into our wallets. We then also have the excuse me, the whale fund, excuse me, whale fund coming in with the passive income from there. And 75% of the profits of what we 75% of the profits of what we make off our passive investment profits will then get paid to the holders. The balance of the 25% will go into, building up the infrastructure of the business, as well as potential marketing going forward, and also, to develop the ecosystem that we have. The ecosystem that we have planned going forward on the roadmap is a launch pad, which is coming soon, that we're going to be working on, because we've, launched this project, and we have got some experience now with regards to getting, a project off the ground, because we did a 80K market cap from the start right up until an all-time high of 12.8 million during a down market, a very bad market. So we did an exceptional job as far as that's concerned. And since then, we've then consolidated of sort of the $5-6 million mark. Eventually, we settled down on the 3 or 3.2 million. And also bearing in mind, we are facing some issues in the world right now. Unfortunately, world news does affect crypto, just like it does the stocks at the end of the day. So, we're not impervious to world news. You would think in theory that, people investing into crypto, are trying to avoid the problems or the issues of stocks. But, this is how the world works. So when there is some issues in the world, stocks are going to take a beating, crypto is going to take a beating, and the dollar, the forex between the dollar and the euro and the pound and all the different currencies also take a beating at the end of the day. That's just the way things work. And then obviously inflation rises as well. That also causes major issues with regards to the cryptocurrency as a whole. Also, and we paired with BSC, BNB, or on Binance. And once Binance starts to lower and starts to get worse, it starts to drag us down at the end of the day. That's got to do with our pairing with BNB. We are going to sort that out as well. We are looking in terms of a cross chain further down the line, where we can actually have more stable currencies linked to our pairing as well. That will help balance the chart out as well. We're not only reliant on BNB. That's coming up, and I know that's going to be a very exciting part of the whole project. I'm personally very excited about that, because, as we know with ETH, when it rises, although the gas fees are pretty expensive, but when ETH rises, it's great. The rest of the projects also rise. If we look at the main, cryptocurrency Binance, everything in the market is linked to Bitcoin. If we look at Bitcoin, when Bitcoin goes down, the rest of the market goes down. It should be, Bitcoin goes down, altcoins do go up. It doesn't work like that. Everything is like Bitcoin's the North Star of crypto. Everybody follows the North Star at the end of the day. And it does set the tone for the rest of the, cryptocurrency industry. So the cross-chain pairing as well will be very exciting, because then we can swap other, pairings into our token, and that will also give us a boost as well, because we want to make this project or this business or this bank's token we have as accessible to everybody and anybody as we can. Naturally, within with the scope of them being able to to support the reflections tokens that we have. Okay. So let's see, is there any questions here? Okay, let's have a look here. I'm just going to scroll to the chat quickly. Yes, okay, Scott, yes, I see Chris did answer there as well. So if you guys need to do a transfer of your banks to a ledger, is bearing in mind that when you guys buy or sell, there is a tax that's collected, as well as on transfers as well, there is a tax because it's any transaction. But if you need to move your banks over to a ledger because you're worried about security issues, you can speak to Paul Booker. He will sort you out with a tax-free transfer on that specific transfer. We don't do it for just anything, but I mean, if it's a realistic issue that you have, you're worried about your wallet being compromised, or you're worried about, hacks or anything like that, and you have a sizable or not, what's important to you is a sizable amount of banks in your wallet, yes, we will move it over to a ledger for you with a tax-free transfer. Okay. To drop out of the AMA chat because of work. Okay, so no problem, Scott. Thank you. You are saying MetaMask is supported by Ledger Treasures. You can store your MetaMask. Yes, that's correct. Okay, so Chris did answer you on that. Okay, perfect. Do we have any questions with anybody? If you guys want to chat to me, any questions with regards to the taxes, the whale fund, investments, what we're looking at going forward? If you don't want to talk to me, you can type it in the chat, or you can come on and you can have a quick chat with me. Okie dokie. Seems like everyone's comfortable with that information. That's awesome. Okay, guys. Okay, on the next step, right? Marketing, because we get this question a lot. What are we doing in terms of marketing? As I chatted to you guys yesterday in the AMA as well, we plan to do YouTube marketing only in March. But naturally, with we seeing how the market was going up and down, we did move that up in the timeline coming forward so that we can, address that issue. Because YouTube is a preferred method for us to advertise. We have done Reddit posts, lots of shilling. We have done Twitter as well. We've done we did about a 40 BNB spend at one point on Twitter. It was a huge spend. It was really, Twitter's more of an awareness thing as opposed to getting holders to actually purchase the token. But we have covered that area. We've gone through the ups and downs of Twitter. We have got a lot of interest and exposure and lots of holders coming through from Reddit, which is also has its days ups and downs as well. And we have been fighting off recently a bit of FUD in the actual Reddit from people. It seems to have calmed down a bit, but as I said before, it comes down to jealousy. If a project does fairly well or is sustainable and people haven't got in early to a project, it's a common human emotion. People get irritated and they get annoyed, or if they see a lot of posts, because I know our community is extremely strong and we are very vigilant when it comes to upvoting and commenting on the different Reddit posts, etc. People start to get a little bit irritated or annoyed, but I can tell you, don't let that bother you 1 second, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. This is our project, this is our business and our investment, so we need to protect our investors at the end of the day and ensure that we have a positive, healthy chart. We also don't restrict anybody to buy and sell, the bank's tokens. You can do as you wish, etc. We're not going to stop anybody. We always ask that if you do, you dollar cost average out or dollar cost average into the project in a healthy way to respect the chart, because not respecting the chart is doing these dumps, which you have experienced in the past, from certain people. Everyone's entitled to take profit. We just say, please do it in a healthy way so we can respect the chart and protect the balance of the investors that are in the actual project. Because if the project at the end of the day has made you some money, great, that's awesome. We want that. But just respect the balance of the people also trying to make their way in crypto in the actual project. So we can ask you to do that. Okay. Right. When it comes down to marketing, once again, we looked at TikTok. I mean, I do all the vetting basically for TikTok, for YouTube at the end of the day, and I can tell you it is quite an enormous task. So you will see also going forward in these next 2 weeks or 3 weeks leading up to our live event in Zug in Switzerland, we are going to ramp up the marketing in a huge way, because naturally we have to build up the BNB, for the marketing budget, because it is quite expensive. Considering that when we started this project, there was only 10 BNB allocated for marketing. That was it. And 10 BNB will get you, or 7 BNB will maybe get you a Caesar call, okay? And there's no guarantee from a Caesar call that you will actually get any, holders or any income coming from it. There's no guarantees whatsoever. And that's where we had. So then we eventually had to, get ourselves onto CMC, which the community asked for. We were first under Untracked, and then eventually it cost us $10,000 to actually do the actual CMC, tracked listing. And then also we spent quite a lot of money also getting onto Coingecko, listing and tracked as well. So we did that. On YouTube, I've been doing a lot of vetting. I watch, the process is I basically watch about 4 to 8 videos to see if the format is actually, feasible for us to use, if it complements us at the end of the day. And then based on that, I will then go through the account and see if there's bots, because a lot of these YouTube guys, they've got an automated account with a lot of bots, and you pay the money and you have these, generic responses saying when project or when Lambo, at the end of the day, they say that when Lambo or when moon, whatever, good project, nice project. We don't want those comments. We want engaged comments with YouTube as well, where people actually ask questions and they get knowledge, and then they come back to us and they join up and then they stick with us, because this is really a long-term project. This is not a short-term project. If you're smart and you build up your bags in the right way, end of the day, you can literally live off the BUSD that's coming, from this business. Naturally, the token's performance will always be, based on performance, how well the performance is of the chart. That's why there was a second utility, which has become the main utility of the bank as well, introduced. So we don't only rely on one segment of income coming into the business. But the YouTube guys, as I said, we've had our first YouTube, which was the Cowboys of Crypto guy, very well respected in the industry. He's well known. He's got 30,000 odd subscribers, and also very engaged subscribers as well. So when he does these videos, etc., which we will be using him going forward to do updates once we do our rebranding, because we can see the results are positive. He will also maybe run a giveaway or two, on our behalf, and that will also bring people into the actual project itself. We do have other YouTubers. We are reaching out to different different communities or different countries, etc. We're focusing on. We've literally looked at the top 10 crypto countries, and we're working our way down the list from the most busiest or the most adoption of crypto down to the lowest on that list itself, and then we're working through those one by one. Naturally, some of these guys that do the YouTube videos are, some of them are very expensive. So there's, after all those bot checks have been done, after all, the comments have been checked to see that the engagement's right, to ensure that, they might have 100,000 subscribers, but 50 views or 150 views on the video, then 10,000 views, then 600 views. That to me is very suspect, because if you have engagement, you will have an even spread, across your videos, 1,000, 200, 2,000, 4,000, that type of thing. But I've noticed a lot of these guys have got, 50,000 subscribers, 200 views on a video. And then you look at, the next video and it's got 6,000 views. And then the video after it's got 40 views. You can buy views. There are agencies where you can buy comments and you can buy views, and they're either botted comments, or it's people that actually work in these shill type community groups, which go in there and just make a quick comment, and they split the money between everybody, and everybody gets $100 or $50 or whatever the deal is, that they get from that to then go and do that. So we want to avoid all this at the end of the day. We really want to avoid this. Okay. Do you have any questions on the marketing itself, on the YouTube? Do you have any questions from anybody in the community? If you guys want to, come on and have a chat to me about the marketing. We can have a discussion about it. Alternatively, you guys can send, drop me a message in the chat and we can talk about it. Okay, just having a look here. Don't see any questions here. Also, please note that there is a current raffle going on, that we've restarted. There's a raffle that came to an end with the biggest buy. We've restarted the raffle as well going forward, which is great. It's basically every 0.2 buy will qualify for a 1 BNB prize. So, 0.2 to 0.5. That's just to help anybody that feels that maybe they're not going to benefit if they participate in the raffle because maybe they don't have that much money to spend or they're reinvesting their BUSD rewards. So there will be a 1 BNB prize in that tier from 0.2 to 0.49, let's call it. And then after that, a 0.5 upwards. Everyone will qualify from 0.5 upwards for a 1.5 BNB prize, which is great because it gives everybody a fair opportunity. And then the biggest buy will win 1.5 BNB. And if that is over 25 BNB, then we're going to double that to a 3 BNB prize. Yeah, which is pretty healthy. Look at what the I think we're looking at 3 BNB at the moment is roughly about $1,200 as a price, which is really great. And then the biggest buy is 750. No, sorry, it's not 750, $650. Sorry, $600. My math brain is failing me today. So that will be for the prize. But if it's over 25 BNB, then we're looking at as a $1,200 prize, which is pretty awesome. I did see today that BNB was sitting on about $407 the last time I checked, which is a great recovery because it went all the way down to $360, also dragging our token down at the same time, but it seems to be up. I haven't checked today. I don't know if anybody can give me a heads up on what the BNB is going for at the moment, but I think it is over the $400 mark. Okay. With also what we're trying to do is we're pushing to get new holders. There is, like I said, marketing going out from here going forward. We're going to push the marketing. We're also trying to get to the 2,000 holder mark. So part of the raffle is that the 2,000th holder of banks will also get 1 BNB. So please get your friends, your brothers, your sisters, your mothers, your uncles, your aunties, the neighbors, the guy in the corner, the guy that sells newspapers, the mailman, the valet, the shoe polish guy, the shoe shine guy, anybody that a network, because word of mouth is the ultimate best marketing you can do at the end of the day. Besides all the YouTube and the Reddit and the Twitter and all those type of things that we are doing, it's the best form of marketing is word of mouth at the end of the day. All righty. Okay. For the live event in Zug, so there is a Dubai conference at the moment, crypto conference, which is going on parallel to the time that our devs will be in Zug in Switzerland, which is the 16th, I think 16th, 17th, 18th of March, and we will be, or 16th to 19th of March. We will be at our own, almost like it's a closed round investor group, let's call it, almost like a Series B investment if you look at it at the end of the day. So for that, we've also made sure that there's a lot of marketing going out. There's billboards that are going up. There's a Porsche that's going to be branded with the BankersDream logo, as well as a G-Wagon, I think it is, that's going to be getting branding as well. And that's going to be totally awesome at the end of the day. That's really good marketing and for these guys in Switzerland. These guys are very serious players in the crypto market. They're also very serious players in the financial industry or financial markets, and they've got seriously deep pockets. They have got, a lot of history in the crypto space as well. So, this is a very core group of people that we're actually pitching or pinpointing this, this business of ours to, because I wouldn't say repercussions, but the benefits of this is that if they invest into this, if we get 10% of the investment from these guys, we're talking about a serious market cap. So, we always like to make sure that we know when we have this investment or we know exactly what's going on, then we can then pass this information on to you. but we don't like to sit and go, this exactly will happen, and then then we let you guys down at the end of the day. That's not what we're about. But we are very excited about this opportunity to go and present to these guys. And if they invest, it's going to then filter down into their communities or their groups that they're in, private investor groups, and they will pass the word around. And then we'll tend to see some serious buyers coming in from these guys. So I won't be joining. The guys are going themselves. The rest of the core group will be going to present this opportunity. But I will be getting live updates all the time, what's happening in there, and then I can pass those live updates to you guys, in the community, in the group, so you can see exactly where we're going. All right. Any questions with regards to that? The live event in Zook. Any questions you guys want to know? I know we're talking about this quite often, and we're going over this over and over. We want to just make sure that you guys, get the gist of it. Look, serious market cap. There we go. Double down, Colorado. I don't like to speculate. No, yeah, 1 trillion. Yeah, that's Bitcoin at the moment. We're going to be equal to Bitcoin if we hit the 1 trillion mark. No, not there quite. But when I say serious market cap, I mean serious boost to where we are. Yes, I would say we are better. You're absolutely right. This business that we're in, this community that we're in, is it's an amazing community. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I'm new to Telegram, but if I look at other like Reddit type communities, even WhatsApp or WeChat type communities that I often bounce around in, it's crazy. It's actually crazy the amount of the strength that this community has, and also I mean other coin Telegram groups as well. Monitoring what's going on there and looking for ideas the whole time. From a PR perspective, because I don't know everything at the end of the day, but we do, I do know lots about marketing. I have been doing it since I was 17 years old. Going into it, I've had my own businesses and been an entrepreneur since a very young age, and always looked at what's the next big thing and where to make money. I've always been looking at that. That's what also helped me to get my journey into crypto. And also, I'm used to building businesses from the ground up, starting from the very, very bottom, the core, laying the foundation, getting the systems in place, getting, the marketing going, getting awareness going, ongoing awareness. Because, any business, it doesn't matter if they're McDonald's or if they are Coca-Cola or if they're bankers, any business, if you stop marketing, the business will die. It's literally a fact. Because remember, if you think about it, psychologically, people are exposed to thousands and thousands of adverts a day from different projects, different products, general products, to cars, to houses, to financing. If you need to apply for finance, to Coca-Cola, food, things like that, iPhones, electronics, Samsung, Android. There's just so much marketing going all the time, and your brain can't consistently concentrate on one thing, more than one thing. It's been proven. People always talk about multitasking, but on a psychological level, it's almost impossible to multitask, because while you're busy doing a specific task, you are completely focused. And it takes about 4 to 8 minutes, about 4 to 7 or 8 minutes, to concentrate on that specific thing to get into it. Once your brain actually, it starts to form an understanding of what you're doing, that takes about 3 minutes, and then to bolster your concentration goes into about the 4th minute, and then you start focusing around about the 8th or 9th minute. Then you start, pulling yourself out. You start getting, how can I put it? You start getting distracted by other things, and then you don't focus on that. So it's a proven thing that this is how much concentration it takes. And if you're exposed to all that every single day, and that advert is not the newest thing in your mind, not the freshest thing in your mind for that day, you will forget about it. Then 2 or 3 weeks down the line, oh damn, I forgot. I need to go and buy more banks. I need to go and go do shopping and get OTs or whatever you guys eat. I don't know, Rice Krispies or something like that. That's why constant promotion has to happen. Constant marketing has to happen, because it will keep us fresh in everybody's mind, and their go-to. We want their go-to in their mind when they think of crypto. Besides the blue chips, if it's an altcoin, which we are part of, excuse me, then we must think of banks straight away. if you pass this information on to somebody else, and say somebody asks you at a barbecue or a chat, or are you invested in crypto? Yes, I am. What type of crypto you invested in? The first thing that we'd like to come to your tongue is Banker's Dream, because Banker's Dream will give you that passive income going forward. It will reward you going forward, for just holding the token, and also through the whale fund, etc. Okay, I'm just going to have a look through the comments here quickly. Um, okay, so it was me. I did a small amount to test, and it looks like it worked, but perhaps not officially supported by Ledger yet. Okay, that's 100%. Look, Chris is also very going to chat about some bridging in a few minutes as well. He's also done some checking recently with regards to doing that. I know that a lot of people are asking, I want to buy with my BUSD, I want to buy with ETH, and he's actually found a very effective way how to bridge using a bridge, which is one of our investments, Moonrock Bridge, to actually get, to get a cheaper price, affordable price, to actually get your ETH converted over to banks. But he'll talk about that shortly. Just having a look here, seriously, we're lucky to have your passion and vision. Man, of course, along with the devs, the community benefits in a huge way. Kokuja, I appreciate that comment. I appreciate you very much. I appreciate the community very much. Guys, I'm so passionate. I think you can hear when I talk about this project. I'm so passionate about this project. It just, you know, considering, like I said, I'm from South Africa, and there's not a lot of opportunity out there for acquiring crypto. It's such a mission for me even to buy crypto. I have to go through different methods. My method, they actually blocked all the debit and credit cards to buy crypto. And what I did was, eventually I had to, because my bank allowed Apple Pay, I had to then link my debit card, two of my debit cards, to Apple Pay, and then that Apple Pay is then connected to MoonPay, and that's how I'm able to actually buy crypto. That's the irritation that I have to go. The stress that I have to go through to actually buy crypto. But at least now, for now, that loophole is still open. Thank goodness. I just hope that stays that way. Touch wood, as we say, is a saying for us. Touch wood that it doesn't change. But that's a loophole that we have right now to actually buy. That I have to buy banks or any other crypto for that matter. So thank you, Flame Bull, for joining the VC, the chat, the AMA today. I really appreciate that, you joining. Appreciate everybody else that's joining. Just so you know, I can see all you guys here. You guys are rock. Love it. Love this community. And like I said, I'm so passionate about this project. Not even about the BUSD rewards. The community. Without a community like this, you will not make a success of the project. It's impossible. Because the devs can do a great job. They can put together a world-class product. If you have no people supporting the product, it's going to fail. We see with like Samsung, they've introduced some phones, in the past. Even LG, they've introduced these phones. You think such a big brand, they can't make errors or mistakes. They make mistakes. And they launch something and it just dies. And eventually they then discontinue and they move on. They don't hop on about it. They just carry on with the next step. That's exactly also what we're doing in this project. When it comes down to like FUD, if anybody doesn't know what FUD is, it's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And we might get people fighting against us, or saying that this project is not going anywhere, this project's going to die. I just laugh. I've got to a point where I used to just delete the comments and just not be interested. But now I think, what, we've actually earned our place. We've earned our place, and now I sit and I'll stand up to the comments, and I will just keep on feeding them information. And I'll tell you what, we will then convert those people when they see this thing going to the moon, or Neptune, as we say. They will be converted over to banks, 100%. We had a very, very tough AMA with the guys from Legit Crypto Lounge. They also have been in crypto a while, and they basically vet projects. We had the toughest AMA, or Paul Book had the toughest AMA that he ever had in his life. They threw all sorts of questions. There was about a 3-hour discussion afterwards about this project and where it's going to go. And they were throwing all sorts of curveballs, into questions that they had, but he answered them very effectively, and we managed to convince them to even buy into banks. And these are hardcore guys that just, they don't just invest in any garbage product. They actually invested in this project. So you know what? We're doing something right. That's for sure. We might not do things right all the time, but it's a learning curve for everybody. At least we're upfront about it. we're honest about it, and we talk about it in these AMAs, so that everybody has any concerns. We talk about it, we make sure everybody's comfortable, and that's why we do these daily AMAs as well. So it's a platform for you guys to voice your opinion. If you're unhappy with something, if you have issues or concerns, the community is very driven. The community is very well versed in all sorts of crypto. We are very fortunate and very blessed to have this type of community in this project. Everybody's helpful. Everybody wants to help others buy into this project. Everybody wants to help others, see the chart go up ahead, because why? We all win. We all come out winning at the end of the day. That's what I love about this project. Okay. Do you have any questions, guys, with regards to anything related? Yes, 100%. Okay, Flambull, thank you for that. Yeah, just an update on Paul's health. He has, he did have a bit of a fever. I don't want to obviously go too much into detail because it is private information, but I can tell you he did have a bit of a fever from his procedure that he had, and he had to see that through. And he's just very tired at the moment, and he's getting a lot of sleep. And the guy deserves it, man. He's been at this project like all other devs every single day, nonstop. Hasn't taken a break. Which you guys know myself. I'm pretty much here most of the time. He's also been in and out most of the time, juggling his day job with this project at the same time. And we have each other's back at the end of the day. Between the core team and obviously the mods, etc., we have each other's backs. That if one of us is out sick, we do have good coverage, and anybody can continue on with this, in the core team and mods as well. So we're very blessed to have that. But yes, he is healing. He is getting better. It's just, he wants to come on today, and I said to him, no. I said, get some sleep. I said, I will take the AMA on his behalf. Again, I have no issue with doing that, and I want him to get rest so that he can come back fighting strong, and he can, knock this out of the park. So we do miss him in the chats, and we do miss him in the AMAs. But I'd rather he takes another day if he needs and just rest up and come back 1,000,000%. You're welcome, Flambull, 100%, brother. This is all our future, all our project here at the end of the day. That's why I have no hesitation for this community. I have no hesitation to support the devs, everybody in the core team, everybody in the mods, everybody in the admins, the mods, I'd say that anybody in this project, the community, I have no issue supporting this project. I have no issue stepping up with regards to anything, including, like I said, the marketing. I decided, we need to push this thing beyond the limitations of any type of marketing that can come our way. We have to go full ball and full steam ahead, because I will not rest until this project is successful and converted into a full-on business. I know the devs will do the same. They won't rest until this project is converted. So, it's, absolutely. Chris, reading your comments quickly. Moneybin came on full time at just the right moment, all about the team. 100%, guys. I'm dedicating 90%, 95% of my time besides sleeping and eating, and showering to this project. Obviously, managing my kids at the same time. I do have some kids to look out for. But I'm committed. I hope you guys can see that. The devs are committed. They deliver every time we've asked them for something. There's been no issue. There's never been, even when I ask questions, I get usually answers in half an hour, maybe an hour, if not immediate. I get these answers. Yes. Yeah, I sleep for 1% max. It feels like that sometimes. Really does feel like it. But, I do it for you guys. I do it for you guys. And like I said, the team does it for you guys. It's not about me. It's not about Paul. It's not about Simplify, AJ, mods, Chris, Caesar, Chris, Carrie, Flambull, I can't think of everybody at the moment, but it's not about the mods only. It's not about me. It's not about, individuals, not about the devs individually. It's about us as a core community and a team of investors, which I'm telling you, this project, I know I sound like a broken record, but seriously, guys, this project, besides being a baby of mine in the sense of where I want to see this going, I treat it as my baby, which means, obviously 100% love, 100% attention, in the time that I'm on, but also 100% support for each and every single member, each and every single community member, each and every single dev, and marketing personnel that's in this business. That's why, like I said, broken record, but I'm passionate, guys. I mean, when I sink my teeth into something, I don't let go. I really don't let go because, and I don't quit. That's the other stubborn side of me being, like, I think South African, or maybe me being a Taurus person. If anybody does believe in it, I'm very stubborn and I don't quit. I don't give up easily. So, there'll be times when I won't be able to, be pushing the marketing. I might be man down and sick, and I know the devs will have my back, and the mods, etc., will have my back going forward. But yeah, guys, this is for you. This is essentially for you at the end of the day. We all want to have a, passive income source where whatever happens in the world, we don't have to worry because crypto will bail us out. Adoption is coming. I look at different countries that trying to block it or ban it, etc. With mass adoption, they can only try that for so long, and eventually they'll have no choice. We know El Salvador's made Bitcoin a legal tender. There's Mexico, which is also friendly, crypto-friendly countries. There's also the Switzerland side, they're also crypto-friendly. Some non-friendly countries at the moment, China banning, the mining. A lot of the guys just moved to Kazakhstan. Texas also welcomed the guys with open arms, and the hash rate, recovered, and staying strong at the moment. So there is adoption. Even the US, will regulate. UK, etc., will regulate, and in Europe, they don't think they'll ban it. They'll regulate because there's taxes to be made, and when there's taxes involved, there has to be adoption. It's just unfortunate at the moment that regulators can't keep up with the industry because it moves too quickly. By the time they've got to a point where they now fully have grasped something that's really old news, and that's where they seem to be falling behind at the moment. So, and it's difficult if you're trying to regulate a DeFi system, a DeFi protocol, or a community, or a network. It's very difficult. The centralized exchanges, yes, they can enforce certain things, but decentralized exchanges is very difficult to enforce certain things. So that's why also the regulation is taking time. Plus, each country has got their own laws. Sometimes these projects fall under securities laws, as we've seen with the XRP Ripple story, where they started lending out and started doing that. So that was a big problem. So they've caught themselves in that issue and that jam. And they'll drag it out for as long as possible. But the guys also in Ripple have got serious financial backing behind them as well. So it'll end up going somewhere eventually. Just it'll take time. So not to talk about that project, but just as an example, it will take time. Okay, is there any other questions? Let me have a look here. Yes, so it was RW87. You're absolutely right. We need to break past that 700 mark. Okay, I must implore you guys, I know, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. None of this is financial advice. Crypto is very volatile, and only invest what you can afford to lose. Okay, 100% of what you can afford to lose, because this is high risk and volatile. Having said that, we do need to break past the 700 mark. It's almost, I feel like, a bit of a psychological barrier. And we do have some whales and other investors, etc., who don't jump into the Telegram group and see what activity that's going on. They just purely watch the charts. So yes, we need to get this thing over this, 1,000 mark. Actually, even I think once we break this barrier points of the 1,000, mark at the end of our zeros, then I think this whole ecosystem and project will change as well. So we, as the early investors, need to hold the ground, hold support as best as we can going forward, so that we can, keep the chart looking healthy as well, especially also going into the Sook Live event, because these guys will do lots of research. They'll go back 2 weeks. They will check the project out. What was it doing before? And that's also why we are very bullish, going forward. We are anyway in the project, but going forward in the marketing, because we want some good results to come out of this live event in Sook. Okay, so is there any other questions with regards to marketing, regards to the project itself, regards to taxes. You can either chat to me in, verbally, jump on and talk to me, or what you guys can do is, hit me up in the chat.
AMB, it's Chris. Can you hear me all right?
Chris, how you doing, buddy? How are you? Well?
Good, good, good. Hey, I just wanted to jump in quick. If you guys don't mind, I had one of the community members reach out yesterday privately, and he sent me a video from a YouTuber, and I didn't see how many viewers they had or anything like that, but it was pretty much a video. The guy was going through and doing a breakdown of bankers, and the guy started off talking about the chart, and he goes, "Well, let's see here. Looks like let's go to CMC. All right, they had a little rise, and now they're really down." And then he goes, "All right, what I really like to do is let's go to Coingecko." And he goes, "This is what my favorite chart." Goes there and goes, "Yep, but it's not looking that great." And and that's how he started the video right off. And I kind of got infuriated in a way, because I'm like, this is the kind of misinformation that's out there. And I told the community member, I said, if this guy was, reputable and not, having malpractice going on right now, he would know to look back at the beginning of the chart and seeing, the true growth of the token and the community and what's going on. So there's, little things like that if there's ever a question or anything like that, please reach out to, to the team, to any of the mods. I know myself, Carrie, Dale, we're all willing to help. And I just, to make it easier, I just sent the guy a text or a voice text, and I just kind of talked about it and, my thoughts and feelings, and we kind of worked it out in the end and made him feel a lot better. But he just sees some random video by some guy on YouTube talking about it, and puts it in not a good light to begin with, and it gave him a weird feeling. So just know we're all there to always inform and make each other feel better about what we're invested in.
Perfect, mate. Perfect. Appreciate you jumping in and doing that. It's one more thing, like, the mods, the community, as Chris said, being there for each other. Crypto is very volatile right now. It really is. And obviously with this war going on in Russia and Ukraine, it has, affected Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoins. It did for a couple of days, and it seems to have, corrected itself pretty well. So yes, there's lots of misinformation, and you can tell by this comments from this guy doing this YouTube that he didn't do any due diligence. He didn't do his own research. He just looked at the chart and said, "Oh, well, this doesn't look too good," etc. Remember something, I bought into Shiba Inu a long time ago when I first started. That was my very first purchase of any crypto. And I waited, I think, for 8 months, 7 or 8 months before any movement happened in Shiba Inu. Like any movement that was positive in any way. I just sat there and I looked at the community. That's what made me stick there. I still hold those Shiba Inu. I've put them on staking, and I still hold them, etc. But I've decided I'm going to look away from it for a long time, and I'll just leave it there. So I've paired it up with, I think, Ethereum, because that was the biggest APY that was paying out at the time. And obviously the negative of the staking is that it works, but also if there's too many people jumping into the staking, it dilutes the pool, and you actually get less APY and it goes down. So yes, with this misinformation, it can have a negative effect, going forward. But like Chris, I'm grateful that you chimed in there. I'll probably reach out also, if you can let me know who the YouTuber is. I'll reach out to him also myself, and I will have a chat with him and say, listen, you need to have a look at this in context, and then do a proper review on the actual, the project, and then you can get better instincts of what's going on.
No, absolutely. I'll send it over to you. Because one thing the guy in the YouTube video also quoted was Token Sniffer, which I have a real issue now with Token Sniffer. It used to be a tool that I would use, kind of in your basket of tricks to look around and get a feel for something. But the problem is Token Sniffer doesn't take into account a lot more with, this type of project and company. It just looks at the buy tax, the sell tax, and then calls it a 50% chance of a scam, without really diving into the tokenomics or seeing what's going on. Yeah, and the problem with that is it's kind of like how everybody has these coin prediction sites or anything like that. I mean, let's be real. At the end of the day, these coin prediction sites, you can only do so much. They just take random data, throw it in there, and they want you to pay to give you their data so they can make money. And it's a whole thing. So it's really just about being informed and educating others as we go. And honestly, that's why I come into AMAs every day, is just to listen to the team talk about stuff, so that eventually if somebody does have a question, I'm there to answer it. And if I'm not around or the team is, I know we have a pretty good core community that comes in each day just to listen and keep up to date. Well, you guys can all chime in as well.
100%, Chris. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. You actually
right. One more thing, MB. Sorry, if I could real quick. I actually, Shiba Inu was my first purchase as well, first real purchase. So, I sat here and I listened to so much FUD and everybody screaming about it and, oh, market cap this and all this. But you know what? I held, and I just kind of monitored. And at the end of the day, I didn't hold my Shibu. I sold my Shibu to be able to come into Bankers with a really nice bag. So,
there we go.
For me, yeah, that's my success story of looking past FUD, trusting my gut, doing my research, and at the end of the day, I was able to come in and purchase a good bag off the bat, and now I'm just DCAing some more and more. But when we get people in the chat, and there was somebody who popped in earlier who was concerned. She was wondering, how somebody who's making so much, he's only making 50 cents a day or whatnot. There's some of us who purchase a little more off the bat, who are pre-sale, whatnot. But at the end of the day, you really got to look at, and a friend of mine pointed out the other day when I told him how much I've made off my dividends so far versus my investment, we looked at it not as how much, but the percentage that I'm making off what I've put in. And the fact that I've already made in a low volume time 10% back on my investment in 5 weeks since I've joined, he put it in a light that I haven't even looked at yet. So I was like, okay, that's actually a better way of looking at it. Not like, oh, I'm only earning so much a day. This is how much I invested. This is my return so far. And it's 10% in 5 weeks. Like, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Try and get that in a bank account. When you put it into a US bank account or any other bank account, see how much interest you get. Your purchasing power will just go down because you'll be able to buy less due to inflation with your dollar. You will in 2 years' time versus now. So, I mean, 10%, that's really great. I mean, really, that is great. That's not me just saying that. It's really great. And yes, it does depend on the volume.
It's great.
100%.
Well, especially since the volume is slow right now, So imagine what happens when, volume starts to pick up and everything. So, as much as we're, everybody in crypto has the mindset of we're so used to just things pumping and, making money. We're of course looking for pumps. We're looking to make money, but we got to keep in the mindset that this is a long-term investment. We're not here just to pump and run. We're keeping up the energy. We're here for the long term. So when people are thinking about how they've only made 50 cents in a day, we just need to be able to put it in light and remind each other that you got to think long term here. It's not going to just happen overnight.
100%, absolutely. Charts have to go up and down. That's what they do. If they don't go up and down and it's a straight vertical pump, it's going to come crashing down just as hard. So we need these up and downs in the chart to maintain a healthy status. People need to take profits when it's realistic for them, but once again in a healthy way. But absolutely, Chris. It comes down to what is your personal goals. If your personal goals is you want a Lambo, then you need to up your bags. It's as simple as that. If you're looking for something that is going to give you a decent amount of passive income to pay a portion of your bills, that's up to you at the end of the day, and it's up to your requirements, individual requirements and needs. So you need to benchmark what you can afford versus what your requirements are, and then work on it. Because personally, it's kind of obvious, you know, the bigger the bag, the more the rewards are. But also it depends on your risk appetite. Is your risk appetite high, medium, or low? And based on your due diligence, would you look at this project or any project and say, well, okay, I'm putting in higher bags, but the risk is medium to low because I'm getting my return in some form. You know, not only just on the price going up and pumping, because that to me is a problem. If you've got a token or a project that's literally only relies on its value going up with the token price, that's an issue because you only got one shot to make money. That to me is gambling. When you've got a token that's got this type of tokenomics and got you know, 2 passive income streams, 3 soon, or even 4 soon, as well as the price of the, you know, the coin going up, to me it's a winner.
Well, I think most of us have been there, you know, unless we're staking. A lot of us have been in a situation where you're just waiting for the coin to move. You know, you're waiting for that all-time high, hopefully getting out at a good step and making some money. So, you know, while I'm not like super active in the chat, and if I'm not, it's because a lot of times I'm chatting with people, side tabling. I'm trying to fight the FUD and inform people on Reddit. My name on there is Imperato, my last name. So I'm just all over the place trying to inform and just getting people to see how, you know, you're not stepping into your usual crypto when you're stepping into bankers. You know, you're here for a long term. If you can't, you know, toss in a ton of money right off the bat, you're not willing to sell your other cryptos, then you treat it like you would a real investment in a mutual fund or EFT. I mean, you constantly, you know, contribute. Because I had some people on, I remember this one person on Reddit who I was back and forth with. They're saying, oh, well, you know, I know you made that much, but, you know, how much do you have? And I'm like, well, here's how much I have now because I took the risk for the reward. But this is also investing. And investing, you know, you don't always have, you know, we're not putting into our retirements, into our 401ks all in one shot. You know, we constantly contribute over time to build that wealth. So someday we have a lot of money. So, you know, of course it's a bonus to be able to put in more than you can right now, because I think I mentioned yesterday, as soon as this goes up, you know, you're getting a lot less for your dollar. So, you know, you got to make that decision. Do I take the risk now? Do I just slowly contribute over time? Just reinvest? But, you know, there's some different ways to approach it.
Absolutely. I mean, 100%. You know, and you know, it's a time thing. This thing is, you know, this, like you said, it's looking like an EFT or ETF. It's the same as that. It's a fund. At the end of the day, the more you contribute into it, the more you get out of it. But you know, once again, according to what you can afford, according to what your thoughts are, your lifestyle, you know, how you see this business actually supporting you going forward, because this could actually support people going forward for a very long time if it's done right. And also why I'm happy that the devs aren't just rushing into anything and just making all sorts of changes, jumping into this full time from their day jobs. They're taking time to make sure it's stable. It gives me a lot of confidence in this project, you know, and the beauty is that because I'm on both sides, I'm, you know, an investor, number one, and then also, you know, the head of PR, number two, from starting as an investor and saw the scope of this project and saw the devs, the way they answer things and get back to you in the daily AMAs and stuff like that, and the risk. And I looked at this and I thought, you know, I did the calculation actually fairly early and said, you know, I need to hold so many, you know, coins or such a big bag, etc., or, you know, a size bag to then sustain my lifestyle. So I did that maths early on into this project, and I then started pushing because I knew I needed to get it up. And you know, it's down to each and everybody's, you know, preference, their wallet size, what's comfortable to you at the end of the day. If you're not comfortable going for the very high amounts, you know, then that's you. You know, that's your comfort, and it's okay to do that. But if you really want to, you know, make sure that this project or this particular coin is going to ensure, you know, good rewards, good income going forward that you can rely on, you know, it's about bag building. I love seeing it when the buyers come in the bag building and I see, you know, 500% increase, 30% increase, 20% increase. And you know, like I said, no investor in this project has got any other different treatment, whether they spend $100 or they spend $10,000 or $20,000. Yeah, we don't look at the people different. We look at them as saying, well, we've got X amount of holders, and each holder that's with us and keeps adding to their bag, are holders that are looking at this thing long term. Not just a quick 3x, 5x, and then out again. Because I mean, a lot of those pool groups as well. Because I, punt BankersDream in there quite a lot, and they say, for example, what are we buying today? And I'll say BankersDream. This is why, and I show them the charts. I'm constantly doing that because I believe in this project, because I see the future, not see the future, I don't have a crystal ball, but I mean, I see the potential going forward in the future of this project and turning into a sustainable business. One of the very few cryptos on the market that actually I see has that capability of moving, putting a bridge between crypto world and the real world and actually getting something out of it. So yeah, I mean, guys, yeah, we've got a serious amount of work also going ahead for this project, and just happy to be a part of it. Happy to be working with you guys, for you guys, with the devs, making this project very solid. So, Chris, thank you for jumping on board and sharing us your experience. Appreciate that.
Absolutely, Andy. You bet. While I have you real quick before I have to mute myself again and work, just a heads up to everybody. I know I was talking about it a little bit the past couple of days, but I just want to keep on mentioning it in case anybody is, hopping in after not being here a couple of days. I recently had a good experience trying to teach some friends how to buy crypto, load a wallet, doing the whole transfer from, total newbies, from buying to having smart chain BNB, in a MetaMask or a Trust wallet, and purchasing. I ended up going down the path of Moonrock Bridge, and make a long story short, pretty much I found out it's getting, a little too much gas fees being spent using F, trying to transfer that and doing a swap, or using the bridge to swap over. So I ended up with Coinbase. I was able to purchase some XLM, some Stellar Lumen, and knowing that they have a really, well, I hate to say it for the Stellar holders, but it's almost like a stable coin sometimes. I mean, it just kind of stays pretty steady. So, I knew that I could purchase and transfer without having to worry about too much fluctuation. And at the same time, I could purchase and transfer for very low cost because of their model and, their chain and how it all works. I don't know how it works, but I know it's cheap. So I was able to pretty much buy $100 worth, and took a $3 or $4 hit on Coinbase, which was expected. But I was able to use the Moon Bridge to pretty much bridge and transfer. I did an automatic bridging of Stellar to my MetaMask BNB smart chain. It literally was just a two from one to the other through the bridge easily. I watched the video how to do it, and it cost me less than $1 to send pretty much $100. So it was.
It's like Binance. It's Binance.
Yeah, I'm still blown away. I'm just used to losing money left and right when I try to move money places. So it was nice,
I feel your pain there, buddy. I feel your pain. I feel your pain there.
Yeah.
But that is really cheap for them.
Yeah. So with saying that, if anybody, if they don't use it themselves, or they need, they come up with somebody who's asking or wants to figure out how, I'm confident, unless you have a better way, I'm confident with trying to move people down that path at the moment, just because I'm not too techy. I'm a pretty simple guy when it comes to crypto. I like to keep it simple and not get too technical, because I find when you get too technical, you end up losing money or sending things wrong places. So
100%.
Yeah. So if anybody has any questions, yeah, please just reach out. I'm very accessible.
100%, and I really appreciate that. Thanks. I know the community appreciates your efforts as well. I know how active you've been as well with people, helping them with this type of problem and FUD type of problem. So yeah, man, appreciate it. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Appreciate
no worries.
You've been part of the community, because it takes a lot of people to run a project like this. It's not something where 4 people can run it and just everything goes smooth. It just doesn't work like that. Once you get bigger, once you get more involved.
Yeah, we were talking not too long ago, and I think everybody else can see the writing on the wall with as things grow, it gets bigger. Even with you stepping in now, if it were just going to stay a simple small coin or token, then Vuka would be at the helm every day, just doing AMAs. That doesn't produce growth. You need in the end of the day, it'll start breaking down to, I know his goal is to do as many AMAs as possible, but realistically right now with the big growth, they need to be doing more stuff in the background. So, I bet you'll be doing some more AMAs as you become comfortable, which, you seem to already be. And there will be, there will be, management on management, more help, more go-to people. And that's how businesses grow and how things expand.
Exactly. You're 100% right. You can't do it by yourself. Even with the support, we are stretched even now. But luckily everybody is jumping in and doing their part. As you said, just because the chats sometimes is not too busy with the mods coming around, they are around. They're just busy with other stuff. All projects will get to a point where they need to grow. They need to step up the game. They need to include certain things. It all will come to that point, etc. And at least, we're 9 weeks old and we already have reached that point, which is great. We're not 8 months like, compared to my Shiba experience where, 8 months before there's any traction or movement, there was an odd, little advertising going here and there. But not, not with this project. This project is 9 weeks old, guys, 9 weeks old. And we've done an all-time high already, tested it at 12.8 million, coming from our 80K market cap. We've got, huge marketing going forward. We've got a main utility, which is the whale fund, the BUC rewards, looking at Launchpad, which the fees of that we charge other people to launch on our platform will be distributed, a good portion of that will be distributed back to the holders. So there's another passive income stream coming out of that. And, depending, we obviously will market then to other emerging coins once we've vetted them to make sure that they're not rug pulls or fly-by-nights or whatever. And, obviously we can't get it 100% right, but we're going to put our best foot forward always to ensure that, the holders get the benefit of that. Plus, also the benefit to you guys is that if these projects launch early, you will have access to those off the launch pad at a cheaper rate, because you'll get like a pink cell type rate, as an example, which will also be a huge one as well. And that could 50x, 30x, 20x, 10x, whatever the deal is. And you could use that how you wish. If it means putting it back into banks, to grow your bag or to use it for other things, you're welcome to do whatever you want. It's your money at the end of the day. Yeah, man, Chris, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you and the other mods, Carrie, Dale, Flamble, Lazuli, all you guys. I appreciate you guys for doing your bits. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this going forward. So yeah, guys, if you missed it, Chris has graciously offered to help anybody, wanting to move like ETH around, and avoid the gas fees and get it into banks, because I know a lot of people do. He's got a solution for that. So you can hit him up in a DM. He'll get back to you. He's pretty quick in getting back to me as well with a lot of things that I ask. So,
but I gotta warn you though, I might get back at you with a voice thing, because that's my new favorite way of getting a hold of people. So if nobody's ever tried it, just the whole voice text, it's phenomenal. So don't be scared.
Exactly.
Don't be scared. Okay.
100%. That's why, we switched over. We were texting so much back and forth to each other. It was just, it was eventually, no, we need to do a voice thing. It's a lot better. So I prefer it, to be honest. I prefer it. You can speak quicker than you can type. Okay, guys, cool. Thanks, Chris, again. Thanks for coming in. Is there any questions from anybody that wants to ask anything about the project, anything about the marketing? This is your time, guys. Don't be shy. If you don't want to speak to me, you can do it. Type it in the chat. If you want to have an audio chat like that Chris has done right now, just dropping in there, you guys are more than welcome to do that. I'm here for your questions, and the community is here for your questions. Anybody got a question? Let me know. Let's give you guys a moment to the chat or type something. If you don't, that's also cool. No sweat. But go for it, guys. This is your time. That's why we have these AMAs every day, because it's your time to chat. I also said what I will be doing is I'm going to be doing these mini AMAs. You know, I'll just jump in and probably do like a 30-minute during the day. That's going to roll out like fairly soon. It's probably in a day or so, or even tomorrow. I just, just depending on how much time I have, maybe even later tonight. Nighttime for me, daytime for you guys. I'll probably do a quick, 20-minute, 30 minutes, just for any questions, any suggestions that you guys have. DM me or coming to the mini AMA. Any frustrations that you guys have, guys, talk. The only way we're going to know whether or not you guys have problems or stresses or issues or worries is that you guys need to talk in these AMAs or DMs, etc. This is your platform to actually chat. Okay, I'm just looking through the chat. Don't see anybody wants to talk to me. All good. I don't bite unless you want me to. And I have had a bit of supper, so you guys are safe. That's all good. Okay, guys, if there's no other questions, no other things to discuss, then I'm going to get back to work in terms of marketing to ensure that we have a push and a good huge success going forward of the Zook and Switzerland meet, as well as going forward. Any suggestions that you guys have, please reach out to me. Don't be shy. I'm really an open book. I'm willing to look at anything and everything. I'm willing to look at suggestions. I know quite a few people have reached out to me in the DMs and actually asked me, look into this, look into that, which I have done and I'm still doing ongoing. And we're going to have a great week, guys. Or let's say the next 2 to 3 weeks is going to be great. I did say to you guys before, watch this space. And I wasn't kidding when I said that. Watch the space in terms of activity, marketing, the live events. After that, before that, there's going to be a lot of activity. Take advantage of the raffle, guys. It's there for you. Take advantage of the raffle. And yeah, let's rock it. Let's get those buys up. Let's get these buys up, and let's get our biggest buy up. I'd like to see a biggest buy. I think our biggest one I saw was 7.7 BNB. I could be speaking under correction for this particular one. I know the last one was, I think, 13.1 BNB. But let's get those buys in, guys, and let's help this project moon. We all do our little bits as each part of the community, and this project's going to fly. That's my personal opinion, not financial advice. Once again, do your own research, but my personal opinion, because I know what's going on in the background. You guys have no idea what's coming. It's going to be awesome. Okay. Good stuff, guys. For that being said, I'm going to end the AMA. I hope you guys have an awesome time. Chat to you soon, and stay blessed and look out for each other. Thank you, everybody.